With millions lacking access to basic services, particularly in rural areas, urgent action is required to bridge this disparity.
We have communities that are not accessing clean and safe water, they're not accessing decent toilets, and also the hygiene practice is not so good. The data is out there and it is quite significant. We have in millions in terms of people not accessing. For water access, it's above 30 million, similarly with sanitation and similarly with hygiene practices. And this is by the joint monitoring program.
The focus of the meeting centered on exploring innovative financing modalities, particularly involving the private sector.
So we want to be able to excite the private sector to look what are those opportunities that can be resourced through entrepreneurship. What I know about entrepreneurship is where business happens is where people have a gap and have a need. People have a need for water, people have a need for decent toilets, people have a need to be able to practice good practices. Can the private sector identify the opportunity for investment in these areas?
The chairperson, Uganda Parliamentary Focus on WASH, Organ Silas, cited excessive taxation.
The current gap that we talk about is around 60 trillion. So for instance, this term of office that we have runs up to around 2026. We go for election. If you divided it by 2 years, which is remaining, and you want to fix it within the next 2 years, it means you will have to increase it by 3 trillion per annum. For me, if we can be able to double the figure from 3% to 6%, I can tell you we shall be able to take water to the next person who is not having anything at all.
Prioritization and allocation of resources to address WASH deficiencies was emphasized.
We are seeing financing hard to access for enterprises in the WASH sector. Why? One, interest rates are high. Two, banks or financial institutions do not see they don't see attractiveness of this sector. Three, we are not innovating enough in terms of financing for WASH.
The engagement of the private sector is pivotal in unlocking innovative solutions and driving sustainable progress towards universal access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene in Uganda. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.